Willie D Live.
What's up, family? Shannon Sharpe has just been sued by a woman for allegedly RAPing her on multiple occasions, and the plaintiff in the case is asking for tens of millions in damages. Give me a thumbs up if you believe the accusations. Thumbs down if you say, nah, man, sound like a money grab to me. Backstory. The lawsuit was filed by Jane Doe on Sunday in Nevada after she claims Sharpe brutally SA'd her several times at the end of 2024 and the beginning of 2025 following a years-long abusive relationship. According to the suit, Doe met Sharpe in 2023 at a gym in Los Angeles when she was 20 years old and he was in his mid-50s. She stated in the docs during their first encounter, Sharpe told her he would buy her fake tits if she won a weight loss competition with him. She wrote in the suit, Sharpe proceeded to pursue her relentlessly, calling, texting, and demanding she come to his Beverly Glen mansion. The woman stated she and Shannon ultimately got together for a consensual relationship, though she described it as controlling and very abusive. He demanded complete control over her time and body, attorney Tony Bugsby wrote in Doe's suit, expecting her to be at his house on his schedule, at his demand, whenever he called. Doe claimed there was one argument in particular that terrified her, when he yelled at her while a firearm was visible in the room. Plaintiff tried sharing her location with friends from her iPhone, just in case, the docs state. But Sharpe saw what she was doing. The moment he realized what she was doing, he grabbed her by the neck and told her, if you ever do that again, I will effing kill you, according to the docs. The two nevertheless continued the relationship, even following a move by both to Nevada during the summer of 2024. However, Jane Doe states in her suit, she attempted to break things off after his infamous Instagram live streaming incident, which she said led to him RAPing her. Doe states in her suit, the first instance happened in October of 2024 at her apartment. She said the 56-year-old Pro Football Hall of Famer forced himself on her while she was crying and sobbing. The second instance, the suit alleges, happened a few weeks later in January 2025. Doe claims Sharpe came over to her house with promises of delivering a Christmas and birthday gift to her, but instead violently SA'd her once more. She's suing for over $50 million. $50 million. Her attorney, Tony Bugsby, said it takes a great deal of courage to stand up to those with power, fame, and money. How much courage does it take to just sue those with power, fame, and money? Because a lot of this stuff, fam, I just quite frankly think is a money grab. I find this hard to believe. For starters, the woman said she met Shannon at a Los Angeles gym when she was 20 and he was in his mid-50s. He offered to buy her some fake tits if she was to join him in a weight loss competition. Next thing you know, he's calling, texting, and demanding that she visit him at his Beverly Glen mansion. Ladies, and ladies only. Fellas, take a break on this one. Ladies, I gotta talk to y'all. Come on in. I mean, this is a question I think that y'all should be unanimous on. What would you do if you just met a guy and he is demanding you do things? What would you do? Would you cut him off, or would you just continue to entertain him and allow him to come into your world, come deeper and deeper into your world? Would you give him more access or less access? Damn, he got some money. We know it's a lot of crazies out there. We know that millionaires kill. We know that there are millionaires out there that will beat you to a pulp. So, your spider senses would go up, right? Right or wrong? Come on now. You don't get to demand nothing. When you first meet a person, you don't be demanding something. I mean, well, some of them African dudes, they be demanding. You look good. Come with me. I got to work on my accent. But you know what I'm saying, fam. You know, African dudes, man, they very demanding. But in general, especially, we're talking about American women. American women, they don't play that. Dudes start acting demanding. Girl, he creepy. He'll get me out of here. But she continued the relationship. Now, fam, if something really happened to that woman, you know, I feel for her, and I hope she get justice if something really did happen. But I just can't give a pass to people who claim that somebody did something to them and they put themselves in certain situations as adults. I'm talking about adults, grown folks. Here's the thing, people say, well, you know, she was grown. Okay, so you grown enough to have sex. You're grown enough to come and go when you want to. You're grown enough to go get a job. You're grown enough to move out of the country. You're grown enough to drink, smoke, do whatever you want to do. You're grown. You do whatever you want to do. You're grown. But you're not grown enough to be discerning. You're not grown enough to sense trouble. You're not grown enough to sense that if a guy is demanding, he's probably going to be a problem at some point. Because guys who are demanding, I'm talking about domineering type dudes, those guys can be very dangerous. So you don't have enough sense to say, you know what, let me go in the opposite direction. If the shoe was on the other foot and a man was presented a certain set of characteristics by a woman, he would be held to a different standard. Everybody would expect him to have discernment. Man, you crazy, man? The girl, you picked her up on the street corner. She was at the bus stop and she had a sign that said, I'm a prostitute, and you wiped her up anyway. Little extreme, but you know what I'm talking about, fam. How about some accountability? All these grown people talking about how grown people made them do stuff. They didn't have a gun to their head, they were just scared. Man, if I could just walk around and scare people, give me some money. Give me look here. Walk up to somebody I don't know, and say, hey man, when you get paid, the next time you get paid, I want you to send everything you got to me with no explanation. Just send the money to me. How many of you would do that if you could just walk by people and tell people to deposit their checks into your account with no threat? You know, you ain't making no threats to them. They just doing it, and when they do it, they say they did it because they were scared. You made no threats to them. I'm not buying it, fam. I'm not buying it, especially when you start talking about lawsuits and stuff like that, but you ain't talking about criminal charges. I'm not buying it, fam. But what say you? Drop a comment. I'd love to hear your thoughts. No more talk.